Welcome to the Computer Guru Show. My name's Mike, here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. Give us a call, 520-790-2040. Kent, is there a suggestion box out there somewhere that you know of?
No, but I can make one.
Oh, my goodness. We're having a headphone debacle here this morning. Did you see what happened?
I did not. It
Yeah.
was working okay for the earlier show.
Oh, he was...
They're in there.
Yeah, they're in the box of shame now.
Oh, box of shame? Okay.
There's a set of headphones there that they want to be a part of you. It just leaves like stuff stuck to you.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
Merry Christmas!
Yeah.
Speaking of, Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope everybody had a great holiday and visit. And maybe you got a new computer. You got a
Maybe.
tablet. Lots of tablets being purchased for the holidays. So, if you got one and you need some help, you know who to call. You call the guru. That would be me. Totally me.
And where do they call you at?
They call me at 304-8300. There you go. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for reminding me that,
You're welcome.
that this is an advertising platform. Appreciate that. And it is, man, it's cold outside.
It is very, very cold. I don't do well under 75, so this is not cool for me.
This isn't Arizona.
Yeah, doesn't feel like it.
No, I mean, it's kind of nice. It's a little Christmassy as far as being chilly, but
I'm in Arizona for a reason.
soon enough, it'll happen.
It's cold.
You'll be really warm in April.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's gonna be something.
It'll be something.
Just like always.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, there you are. Okay, let's talk to Steve. Hello, Steve. How are you?
Well, I was good until I opened up my new laptop and Windows 10 came up, and I realized how stupid I was because all I'm able to get is a black screen with a little recycle icon, and it came with absolutely no directions. And what I would like to get from you is there like a Windows 10 for Dummies or something, because I have no idea what to do. It only came with directions on how to install the battery.
Okay, so you turn the machine on,
Right.
and all you see is the recycle bin?
Well, no, I had to, register it or, whatever you do. And then when it said, everything was, working, but that's all I got was just the black screen. And what I'm looking for is, something printed that I don't even know enough to ask an intelligent question.
Well, they don't do those instruction things anymore. Those are so like 1980s. Nobody does that
I can't
anymore.
help it.
All right, so do you see anything on the screen at all?
Oh, I don't have it on now because,
Okay.
as I said, Mike, I couldn't even ask an intelligent question. There was, as I said, I did it yesterday, and I closed it up and unplugged it because I didn't want to break it.
Oh, you're not going to break it.
For frustration.
Well, unless you throw it on the floor. But you're not going to break it otherwise. So here's a couple of different options for you.
Okay, good.
You can come down to the shop if you like and schedule some time with me or one of the techs, and we can run you through the basics of how everything works.
Okay.
And if you want some time with us, you just schedule an appointment, and we'll set aside an hour for you. And
Okay.
it's reasonable cost.
Oh yeah, no,
If you're less enthused about going out to one of the locations that we have, we can come to you.
Okay.
It's a little more expensive, but you get one-on-one attention that way.
Okay. Now, you used to run classes periodically.
We did, and we'll be resuming classes in the spring.
Oh, I don't think I can wait that long.
Yeah, you probably can't.
Okay. All right, but have you looked at the Windows 10 for Dummies book? Is that any good?
They're okay.
They're okay.
I mean, the truth is that if you have any idea how to use 7, then you're pretty okay with using 10.
Yeah. If I can get something on the screen. Okay. Well, I think I will. At least pick up the book and look at it, and if I can get started, then I can probably progress.
Right. Well, if you need that jump start, give us a call. We'll set aside some time for you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate the call, Steve.
Sure.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, man.
Windows 10 issues on a new laptop.
Brand new laptop. What's going on there, Ken?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Something similar to what Steve was saying. I was troubleshooting a neighbor's PC over the weekend. She has a, how do you pronounce it? Asus?
They say Asus. If you say Asus, they get really angry on the phone.
Yeah,
by
I
the
bet.
way.
Asus, relatively new computer, iCore 7 or something like. I mean, nice
machine.
process,
Okay.
nice machine, and just recently it would just come up to the Asus screen and sit there, and she said it would sit there for like 30 minutes, and then it would finally boot up.
Right?
Could it be that it was trying to get the Windows 10 update at that point, or does that come later?
That is later.
Okay.
All right, so if you see the Asus logo and it's got the little spinning dots and it sits there forever, then generally what that is you have some type of an external device plugged in, like an external hard drive or a memory stick or something that is just confusing the machine. Doesn't know what to do with it at that point. It's just, no, I'm going to sit here and wait until something happens. And eventually it'll give up. Normally it's not 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the suspicion that that's a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, if you have an external device plugged in of some type, some sort of external hard drive or a flash drive, that'll have it hang up at that little spinning dot screen.
Yeah, she does have she did have an external drive that she saves everything off to. She shut that off, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, it booted immediately.
It booted immediately.
Yeah, so there's a couple of different things you can do for that. The simplest one, if there's data on the drive, is to in the equivalent of the BIOS for new machines, you can tell it, don't ever look at the other devices for booting, only look at the hard drive. And that'll solve that problem for the most part and make things a bit easier to deal with. Oh, what do we got going on here? Oh, Ken's on the phone. So
Trying to figure out the new phone system.
which one do you want me to take, Ken? Number 1. Okay, so we're going to talk to you, Jeff, I think. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, doing great.
We often don't know whether or not we've got the right name.
Yeah, you got it this time.
All right. How can I help you?
Well, I had a question, Mike. I'm running out of space on an external drive for backup, and my thought was to get a new, 3.0 USB 4 terabyte external drive. And wouldn't the easiest way for the household to be to plug it into the router and just have it as a big home network and just kind of dial everything to back up to there, or is that too much trouble than it's worth?
I don't know. That's not a bad way of doing it. You're not going to really see any of the benefits of the more expensive 3.0 devices that way. How do you do your backups?
Well, I have a 2 terabyte external drive hooked to each computer, and of course I use the Google Photos and all that. But
Right.
that drive's filled up on one of them, and the 4 terabyte drives are dirt cheap right now.
Okay. So, but what software do you use? Or are you just doing raw copies?
I just do the Windows backup. I used to use Acronis, but it really, really messed up the machine and wouldn't work right, so I got rid of it a couple years ago.
Okay. Windows backup is not a bad way of doing it, but you won't be able to do a Windows backup over the network unless you have Pro. Home versions.
I do have Windows 10 Pro on one, but not the other.
Right. The others won't be able to back up over the network unless they're Pro. So, so that would make it so that plugging into the router wouldn't necessarily work for you.
Okay.
Unless you used a different solution, some type of different backup solution. So you'd have to either pick a different piece of software that allows you to do network backups or something along those lines. Now, as far as the external drive for backups, I'm okay with just the regular consumer grade external hard drives for backups if that's all it's being used for. If it's also like a storage location for like the only copy of some important piece of data, then that doesn't make me happy.
Okay.
Because it's another one of those single points of failure, and external hard drives tend to die. They tend to just drop dead for, you won't notice, because on your computer, when your hard drive starts to die, you notice that there's a performance impact. You notice that things are acting weird. Whereas with an external hard drive, you won't notice all of the signs that are the precursors to death. So just one day, it's just not going to be there anymore. So if it's just a backup device, that's fine. That's perfect.
Okay. The software that comes with it, Mike, like the Western Digital, I think it all comes with their proprietary software. Would that work to get all computers onto one?
It's highly unlikely that would work as a network backup solution.
Okay.
So there are some solutions that are out there that work pretty well for the network backup stuff. I mean, the simplest option is just put Pro on everything.
Yeah.
The cost difference between the two, if you do like the anytime upgrade, isn't a whole lot. But that's a nice solution that works pretty well. Now, that's only if you're really doing like the image backups and stuff like that. If you're just doing file backups, there's a bunch of different ways that you can pull that off over the network, and it'll work.
That's all. I'm interested in just the file backups.
Yeah, so I would do something like CrashPlan, right? You can go to crashplan.com. You can download the little app. They want you to sign up and pay for cloud backups with them, but the CrashPlan backup software is totally free and works really well. And you can back up to a local or network device.
Excellent.
There you go, man.
And then all you do, Mike, is you just point to it. You just plug it in. Is there anything I need to do to set it up? That's weird. Do I just plug it in and
your router? It depends on your router. On a lot of routers, you have to go in there and at least tell it, "Hey, I'm hooking up an external hard drive to this USB port." But most of them will just see it. Is it an Asus one, by the way?
Yeah, so, it is an Asus, yeah. So,
because the Asus ones tend to be the ones with the USB ports. Calling me out on the pronunciation there, Kent. That's funny. You do have to go in there and tell it to make it an SMB share.
SMB share?
Yeah, it's a Linux way of saying I want to share with Windows. So you have to turn that feature on before it will map the drive out.
Excellent.
Sound good?
Sounds great. Thanks.
All right. Appreciate the call. We have to take a moment to mention our sponsor, which is Perfection Auto Works, which I hope that they had a wonderful Christmas. I bet they did.
So.
Seeing, they've always got a queue around the block.
Yes, they do.
I'm feeling particularly British today, apparently. They do good work, and it's. I can't say enough good things about them. Did you get your oil change yet?
Not yet.
Did you call?
No, I didn't get to.
Oh, Mike's
It's been a very busy week.
Mike's going to be mad at you.
I was busy. I'm sorry.
Well, Christmas and
yeah.
You got a ton of kids.
I got 2.
That's still a ton of kids.
It's 2.
It's way too many. It's like 5 kids too many. So go to perfectionautoworks.com. Make sure that you call them and thank them for their sponsorship of the Computer Guru Show. We'll be right back after these messages. And guess whose message it is? It's Perfection Auto Works.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Whether you're dealing with hardware installation or, heaven forbid, a virus,
No!
Mike Swanson is answering all your questions one by one. So call in or chat in with yours. The website, gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show on AM 1030 KVOY The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show.
Welcome back to the Computer Guru Show. My name is Mike, here to deal with your technology needs and treat you like a person in the process. 790-2040 if you want to be part of the show. Now we're going to talk to John. Hello, John. How are you?
Oh, good morning. Just had a couple of quick questions for you. I was sending a full re-forwarding an email my brother had sent to me, and there's probably 20 different names that he had emailed, the same kind of neat photos of model cars and everything.
Right.
If I am re-forwarding that to somebody, how do I have it? I'm not in front of my system right now. How do I do it so that all the other people he had forwarded this to aren't re-forwarded to everybody else?
That is a good question about netiquette. And first of all, the person that forwarded it to you shouldn't have put everybody's name on the list where they were visible to begin with. So the way that you do that is if you're on that message and you decide that you want to just forward the message
Yeah.
to someone else, you just click on forward and nobody else's name will be in the to line, but you'll also have to go into the body of that message and delete all of the email addresses out of there before you send it.
Oh, okay. So
Now,
I can do that.
the proper way to send an email to lots of people where you're not being rude about giving their email address to everyone is that you will use the BCC line. So there's the to line, there's a CC line, and then there's a BCC line.
Yeah, blind carbon copy.
Right. So you're going to put everybody's addresses you're going to send it to in the BCC line, and in the to line, you'll often put yourself
Okay.
or nothing because it'll allow you to do that. And then that way, it gets sent to all of the people that you want it to get sent to, yet nobody else gets anybody else's email address out of the whole thing.
But in other words, if he had sent it and it had 20 additional emails, I'm re-forwarding that. Are those not going to still be re-forwarded along with the body of the email?
They'll be in the body of the email if he didn't use the BCC line.
Right.
And you'll have to go in there and manually delete those.
Okay, got it. The other question, I had sent this on an iPad that I use professionally. I'm not real high tech, but to a friend of my wife's, and he didn't. The photos never came through. He got the message I typed out, but the photos never got through to his computer.
So you sent photos from an iPad, and they were they were definitely in the message when you sent them.
Yep.
And he didn't get them on his end.
No, he got the typed message from me, but not the photos.
I think he got the photos too, except for they weren't in line anymore. So they probably just showed up as attachments rather than being in line.
Okay.
So when you're using Apple devices, anytime that you send a photo, they're attached as it's called inline attachment, meaning that they're visible to you in the message along with the text. And a lot of email programs, especially on the PC side, won't show pictures. It just shows that there are attached pictures, but you have to actually click on them or save them in some way to view them.
Okay, and if you're saving them, does that mean they're actually, if I open an attachment with photos and it tells me on my laptop to save it, does that mean that it's now permanently saved on my computer and taking space, or just temporarily to look at?
If you just double click on it, it's viewing. It just opens it up as a temporary download. If you save them, then they become permanent.
Okay, I may be calling you back on this one, but I think I got that. Last question is, you often announce the Perfection Auto Works. What part of town are they located in?
Oh, well, they're over at Speedway and like Rosemont.
Okay.
Speedway and Beverly is the actual street name. They're on Beverly.
Okay.
But nobody knows where Beverly is. So, but yeah, Speedway and Beverly.
Okay, so they're not too far from Swan Avenue.
No, not at all. About a mile and a half.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right.
And let's go ahead and talk to John. Hello, John. How are you?
Robert?
Robert.
No, well, never mind. Yeah, we never get the right names on this. I was looking at the wrong one.
See how confusing that is?
They should be different colors. They really should be.
There should be something.
All right.
Like, I have an identical twin named John, so I get it a lot.
Yeah, well, if I were able to glean that over the phone, man, that would be something. So what's going on?
I installed Outlook 2010 on my Vista computer. I formerly had 2007.
Yeah.
And it's lost its search capability. It just won't find keywords in the body or
Yep. That's a
blah,
Vista
blah,
thing.
blah. Can I uninstall 10 and just put 2007 back on there, because there was nothing wrong with 2007 to begin with?
First of all, everything was wrong with 2007, but that's just a personal opinion.
Well, I knew how to use it.
You could, yes, but it's entirely possible that your search functionality will still be broken.
Okay.
There is an issue where there's an item that gets removed from Vista when you upgrade from 2007 to something else. In fact, that issue used to take place if you upgraded from 2003 to anything else. And it probably still does. It's just that's really old. The search functionality is not a function of Office. That's a function of Windows. So the ability for it to search your emails or search the documents and search within the documents is an indexer thing, and that's a Vista issue, not an Office issue.
Okay.
So there are some ways to fix the search functionality. And the only thing that could really offer you, if you're in Vista and intend to stay in Vista, would be that there's a couple of repair tools out there for fixing the search functionality. There's a Microsoft Fix-It for that. So if you were to type in Google, you type Fix-It Vista.
Fix-It for 10, you mean?
I'm sorry?
Fix-It for 10 or Fix-It for 7?
Well, the Fix-Its work on all Windows versions.
Okay.
Unless some of them are version specific, but they'll tell you. But so when there are problems with Windows that are large scale, right, where everybody's being affected by it or large numbers of people are being affected by it, Microsoft will create a little utility called a Fix-It for that particular problem.
Yeah, I like those little Fix-Its. They do actually work. Like,
yes, they do. And there's one for the search functionality in Office. So I would do a search for that one and find it. If not, you can use a larger tool, larger hammer, and you can go to tweaking.com. That's tweaking.com, and they make this something called the All-in-One Repair Kit for Windows, and it works on all versions of Windows.
Okay.
And it often will work for this type of thing. I can't give you 100% on it, but most of the time it works.
Hey, well, I have a brand new Windows 10 computer sitting right next to it. So, and I wasn't about to move over my PST file because it's 8 gigs of PST.
Who's your mail provider?
Cox.
No, so you got a Cox.com address?
Yeah.
Cox.net address, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you IMAP or POP?
I believe I'm POP.
Oh, okay. All right.
So the problem is I'm using a new computer that won't auto-populate, when I'm typing to. So I have to warm up the other computer and search through my emails physically to find the email address I need.
Right.
And I'm getting over it, But on the Vista computer, it says that the fans aren't working. You have to press F2.
Right.
But all 3 fans are spinning.
That one I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about unless we looked at it, just because there's something going on there if it's complaining about the fans.
Well, is it going to bake?
Yeah, well, you don't want to do that either. I should point out, though, that in Windows 10, it generally won't allow you, unless you're using a third-party mail application, to do a POP account.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. You're going to have to do something about that with 8 gigabytes of mail. So you're either going to have to, archive off a bunch of mail, or you're going to have to find a different provider. Or switch to IMAP mode with larger mailbox or something. And just for the record, because, I have to, we offer mail hosting with much larger mailbox sizes.
Okay, but reinstalling 2007 might restore the search functionality?
It's unlikely, but it's
unlikely. Okay.
Yeah, because that's a Windows
will
function.
Will it blow out all my emails if I try?
Have you opened up your mail program in the new one?
Yes.
And you can't go back. The PST file has already been converted.
Okay.
So you're stuck, man. You're stuck with the new one.
I'm learning it. This old dog's learning new tricks.
You can just send Microsoft your therapy bill.
Yeah. No, believe me, my neighbors hear it.
Nice.
They hear my cries for help. It's kind of cathartic just to yell.
You know, you can call us and we can help you with all kinds of stuff. That's what we do.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for the call.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you can call us and we can help you with that.
Get to hear myself there. All right, give us a call. 790-2040 if you want to be a part of the free hour of tech support for this Christmas weekend. We'll be right back.
Your computer guru, Mike Swanson, is here to help you tame that beast of a machine. Join the chat right now at gurushow.com or call in. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOY, The Voice. Mike Swanson, your computer guru, is just a click away. Listen and watch at gurushow.com. This is the Computer Guru Show on KVOI, The Voice.
Welcome back to the Computer Guru Show on the post-holiday weekend here.
Yeah. Love it.
Made all the employees work today.
Did you really? Well, it is Saturday.
It is Saturday. It's what we do.
And it's not a holiday anymore.
We're busy. You got to get to work. Oh, let's take some phone calls. Let's talk to Scott. Hello, Scott. How are you?
Hi, Mike and team. First, I wanted to remark about the female individual that you have who does your commercial. She has the absolute best voice I've heard for a female promoter.
She is awesome.
Yes, she is. And my question is this. I updated to Windows Professional, and I have an HP PhotoSmart 8150. It will not print. And I've done hours of pulling software off and putting it back on and so on, and it just will not print, will not recognize it.
Okay. So explain to me how it's connected to the computer.
A direct connection.
Direct connection. And has this printer ever worked?
Oh, yes. Prior to the update, that was Windows 8.1, I think.
Uh-huh. So you were at Windows 8.1. The printer worked. Since the upgrade to 10 has not worked.
That's correct. Now, I might tell you, the computer itself is a Dell XPS 420. It'll be 10 years old in April.
Mm-hmm.
Could that be the issue?
No.
No.
It's if it worked before, it has nothing to do with the computer.
Okay.
So what can happen during the upgrade? And I've seen it happen with a few different pieces of software. Generally, it has something to do with graphics cards, like some NVIDIA software just gets completely broken during the upgrade from 8.1 to 10.
Okay.
And in some cases, that can happen with printers as well. How tech savvy are you? Give me a 1 to 10 scale.
Oh, about maybe a 6.
I think you're 6. Okay, cool. All right, so in the device manager, if you go down to the USB devices section,
right,
there's going to be something called USB printing support that's in there.
Right. Okay.
And while the printer is connected, I would go in there and delete the USB printing support. Then I would go into the printers list and remove any remnants of that printer that you can find.
Okay.
Then I would unplug the printer, plug it back in, and chances are it's going to work.
Okay.
Even without having to do any of the software stuff. That USB printing support will often get hung up in the device manager if there's something wrong with the device according to Windows.
Okay.
So I would start with that and see if that works. If not, there is a series of HP cleaning tools that are out there from the HP website that will thoroughly eradicate the printer from your machine. Now here's the secret, is that they don't tell you this, so you have to experiment with it, but the removal tool that they provide from HP does something different every time you run it. And there are 5 stages. So you have to run it a minimum of 5 times to completely remove all of the HP software off your computer.
And then if I understand Windows 10, it will actually go out and find the right driver if it's not there. Is that correct?
Chances are it already has the driver built in.
Yes.
Now, if it doesn't, Windows 10 is very good at finding the correct drivers that it needs. However, when you're dealing with printers or scanners, you want to make sure that you have the full functionality of that device, and oftentimes they'll require you to put on the HP software to do it.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Love your show, by the way.
All right, thanks for the call, Scott. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we will move on to Mark. Hello, Mark. How are you?
Decent. So, thanks for your show again.
Thank you.
Also, calling about, well, two things, cloud storage and the difference between image backup and just plain old file backup.
Okay. Which one do you want to do first?
Well, how about image versus file? I've got to get my backup act together here in this next week because I've got stuff all over the place.
All right. So image backups are any type of backup that saves itself or saves an image of the drive, meaning that that image could be used to clone onto a new drive in the event of a complete failure of the old one.
Which seems to me to be the best way to do it.
It's one of those things. There's pros and cons, right?
Okay.
So the pro is absolutely you can make a bootable version of your backup onto a new drive and have everything work. That's great. That is an absolute pro. The cons is that it's huge. It's a giant backup because it's got everything. I mean, it's got 30 gigs of Windows and then 12 gigs of swap file and all your temp files, and it's a gigantic backup.
So it takes forever to upload and download and.
Yeah, especially if you're doing them online.
Okay, and now what's the downside then? Besides that, I mean, am I still able to update? I probably am not able to update individual files then after.
Depends on the provider.
Okay.
A lot of image backups will allow you to do incremental changes.
All right.
So it would only then back up the changes from the last full backup. However, you have to think of things like your temp files for the day could be, especially if you're on high-speed internet and do a lot of surfing, you could have 10 gigs of temporary internet files that get backed up.
Oh, okay.
So, or a swap file that gets changed, or something that it's going to be huge. So the upside to the file-based backups rather than images is that, one, you can just select a folder or a series of folders that you want to back up, and also add the incremental ability to that. So your backup size and time would be really, really small, comparatively speaking.
All right. And so would this be, I guess this could go to cloud or to,
Well, that's why most cloud-based systems are file-based only.
Okay.
Because it keeps them fast and lightweight, like Carbonite.
Yeah.
As an example, they'll only do file-based backups. And if you have like a Carbonite account, then you can have a local drive plugged in for images.
Okay. I do have a Carbonite account. I haven't used it very well. It's on a
Nobody uses it very well.
Pardon?
Nobody uses Carbonite very well.
Okay. And my renewal is coming up here soon. It's about $50-$60 a year or something like that.
Yeah, there's some other ones that you can look at too.
And so I've been looking at some cloud storage things, and there's a couple of Chinese places.
How about Backblaze?
The what?
Backblaze.
Backblaze.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one yet.
You should check them out.
Backblaze. Okay. And interesting about these Chinese ones, they're like 10 terabytes, 36 terabytes.
Backblaze is effectively unlimited backup for cheap.
Yeah, for I think free. And
Backblaze isn't. I'll tell you that much.
Qihoo 360 and Tencent Weiyong. Anyway.
Basically, if you're doing anything for free, by the way, you're the product. So I mean,
right? There's something happening there.
Right. So you do not do free services.
Okay.
It's not good.
And then Google also has one you pay. I don't know, like
Google Drive.
Yeah, Google Drive looks kind of cheap.
It is relatively cheap, but you get one folder, effectively Google Drive, and anything within it.
And so I could put my entire hard drive tree in one folder.
You don't want to do the root.
Okay, well, all right.
You don't want to do the root. That would be no. Don't do the root. So don't do C:/ as your backup folder because it won't work.
Oh, it won't.
No, and it would be. Oh, that would just be a nightmare. So because something would get locked right during the backup, and you probably break Windows.
Ooh, all right.
So stay away from that.
So just go to my whatever.
Yeah, just pick
my
like
computer files, whatever.
like your user folder file or something, your profile. Right. You don't want to be backing up the whole machine like that, unless you're using a backup system that is designed to do operating system backups.
Okay, and this is something that I want to be able to access these files from work as well as home.
I think that you should just go to Backblaze.com and check them out.
Backblaze.
Yep.
I will do that.
All right.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for the call, Mark. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Oh, let's see. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. So, because we got to fit one more in. So if you're on hold, stay on hold. Otherwise, give us a call at 790-2040. We'll fit you into the final segment of the Computer Guru Show. We'll be right back.
Computer troubles? Need some advice? Call in now. Mike Swanson will be back after these messages. The Computer Guru Show, AM 1030, KVOY, The Voice. Your technology guru, Mike Swanson, is answering all your questions one by one.
Yes, science!
So chime in with yours. The website is gurushow.com. Tune in, click in, and kick back. This is the Computer Guru Show.
We often hear that people enjoy the show and that they find it informative and hopefully somewhat entertaining. Sometimes we get messages saying it's not entertaining or informative, but most of the time we get the feedback that people like the show. And if you do, and you want an opportunity to help us out, because the show costs money to put on, this is not provided by KVOI at all, other than I give them money and they let me sit in here and talk into a microphone. And, well, they provide Kent, which is very nice. We very much appreciate Kent. Thank you. But if you'd like to contribute to the show, you can. You can go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/Guru Show. And you can donate as little as $1 a month or as much as you like. I'm hoping somebody will find the $1,000 a month sponsor. That would be nice.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, considering that we haven't gotten anywhere near that at all.
No.
Anybody. But if you are like a small business in town, or you'd like to just get your mention in, you can. You can make a larger donation and be mentioned on the show, just like
Desert Pro Commercial Cleaning, LLC. We don't cut corners, we clean corners. And you can find them at TucsonDesertPro.com.
So we appreciate everyone who donates to Patreon and sponsors the show, and is wonderful, and thank you very much. If you want to see an example of the work, you can go over to the East Side location at 64 North Harrison and check it out, because they clean that location and it is sparkly and beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It is a nice location.
I mean, it's a computer shop. You expect it to be like not sparkly and beautiful.
Well, yeah, wires and diodes all over.
Diodes.
What?
There's just capacitors everywhere, just laying all over the place.
Did she just say diode?
She did. She said
diode.
I don't think
I haven't even touched a diode in
I know,
decade.
it's a long, long time.
Oh, all right, let's take some calls here. Let's talk to Jeff. Hello, Jeff. How are you doing?
Great. Yeah, I think you guys have a great show, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. You should send us some money through Patreon.
Yeah, I definitely will. It's well worth it. So,
I'm sorry, that was just a little too brash. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Peer pressure.
So Windows 10 Pro, new desktop comes in. I insert a DVD. I can see it in the drive path, but nothing happens. There's no autoplay, no nothing. How do I get a DVD to play in Windows 10?
So let me tell you a little something about lawsuits. They have some unexpected ramifications. As an example, Microsoft was sued by just about everyone for embedding DVD support in Windows 7. So guess what's not in Windows 10? DVD playing support. So now you have to have some type of a third-party player to watch DVDs on your Windows 10 machine.
Wow.
So I would say VLC is decent for the free. Otherwise, you're going to end up with something like Power DVD or one of the other DVD playing suites.
Okay. Now, when I search the search bar, Mike, I come up with Windows DVD player and Windows Media Player, and those I can't get them to autoplay or anything like that. Are those they're just not operative for DVDs? Is that what the deal
They're
is?
not operative until you have a codec installed, and you have to get that by putting one of the third-party players on.
Oh.
And once that's on there, then you can do autoplays, and it'll open in whatever program you like. But without that support, it's not happening.
So VLC, is that a recommended, Guru recommended?
VLC is all right.
Any other options?
Power DVD?
Okay.
That's a paid one, though. But
excellent.
Both of those work well, and I got to move right along because I got one more call here in 2 minutes.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Appreciate the call, Jeff. And let's talk to James.
Yes.
How may I help you?
I have an iMac, and with the upgrades from Maverick and El Capitan, I have now something called Photos. And what I've been using is iPhoto.
Right.
Now, what's the difference between these two?
Well, they're not a whole lot, and one replaces the other.
Oh, that's straightforward. The reason is that the iPhoto, every time I have a little bit of a problem, I try to search for a solution, and the solutions they have seem to be for photo.
They're effectively the same program. One's just a newer version.
Oh, that's all it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it easy to transfer things from one to the other?
It's automatic.
Pardon me?
It's automatic. They're in the same library.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
then I have everything on my photo.
Right. So if you have something in iPhoto, it's also in Photos.
Oh, well, that's straightforward.
Yep.
Yeah, by the way, you have a good show. I like it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Very informative, and you really do a public service. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, James. See, I didn't even pressure him for Patreon money or anything.
Yeah.
See?
Good job.
Merry Christmas.
Wow. That's what we're ending it on,
This
really?
is the coffee kicking in after...
It took an hour?
It took half the show, but yeah, there was... Whee! All right, so you should take an opportunity to come visit us. I mean, some of you got some new machines. You might want some training. Come down and see us. We're 510 East Fort Lowell or 64 North Harrison. You can give us a call at 304-8300 or visit our website, azcomputerguru.com. We'll see you next week.